Hello, friends. It's Saturday, November 18th, 2017. I don't know, like 7 o'clock or maybe earlier. I don't really know. I don't know. It's nighttime, right? As you can tell. I don't know how good the lighting is. And yes, it just so happens I'm wearing the same shirt again. So, anyway, I believe it is day 64 of NOFAP and day 57 of no alcohol and my low carb diet. So, yeah, the scale's still hovering around the same place. It seems to be at about 240. I think maybe since I'm not really doing cardio and going off of purely some strength training and the diet, it's probably not coming off as fast as it can. And not to mention, since I am doing the strength training, I'm probably building some muscle, so it's kind of, that. But pant size, as always, not pant size, it's the belt that I used to wear, this sort of brown leather belt. It's you kind of like, you get down to some of the lesser notches, and depending on the day, you're like, oh yeah, today I can't do that notch, got to put one over, because I guess I had too much of something. But I am at the lowest possible notch, and it is definitely loose to the point where it clearly isn't really doing anything anymore. So I'll take that as the true indication. And also, since the little weight thing we have clearly kind of sucks too. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to really say with that other than, boy, has it really been that long now? Who would have thunk? You start doing something and you stick to it, and magically a whole bunch of time goes by. And it's been nearly 2 months since I've actually stuck to a diet. Oh boy, how many years did it take? But yeah, I mean, realistically too, since I'm not exactly doing cardio either, that it's probably not, it's probably making the weight loss a bit slower. And yes, even though all I show is me doing dips, that's not all I do, folks. So don't. But definitely I could do more to kind of make the progress go faster. It's just kind of, I'm still indecisive whether I want to ride the recumbent bike, where I want to plug that into the routine, or maybe just do walking, just good old-fashioned walking. Go walk for an hour 3-4 times or something, or 5 times, I don't know. At least minimum 3 times a week. Definitely had, because my foot seems to be basically fine at this point. I went for a walk earlier this week. It was one of those where it's pretty cold weather, but it warmed up a bit where you can basically like wear shorts again and like a t-shirt. It was just sort of later in the day, and went for a long route down some areas that I hadn't been in quite a while. And it was just like, oh man, this is pretty nice. A nice steady walk. So maybe that, folks. So once in a while. Yeah, I mean, there's kind of nothing else to say with that. avoiding watching porn, so it keeps the whatever lust, whatever in check. And NOFAP, it's, I don't know. Mostly these days, and maybe especially after my little hopeless spur gout, if you will, or whatever you want to call it. Just not really thinking about women much right now. And honestly, folks, there's something truly freeing about it when you're not like, oh man, should I go somewhere to try to pick up girls or something. It really is, like, I don't know. There's just something very nice about that. I mean, don't get me wrong, here and there you see somebody that catches your eye, it's like, oh my. But it's right now, and I hope it lasts a while, because it's a nice feeling, to be honest, from the constant thinking about women. You have a little bit, but not as bad as it was, so I am very much enjoying that. Whatever that is. So anyway, once in a while, folks, once in a while I actually listen and do something that somebody tells me. So I got a couple of things that somebody said to get. There's a test booster, which, like the test boosters I've read are mostly just kind of fake, so it's pretty damn expensive too. So, but it's whatever. It doesn't hurt to try, folks. I've spent money on much worse shit. So, and the biggest one though probably is I really want to try this SAM-E, natural SAM-E full potency. I feel like a number of you have brought it up, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll look into it. It's like, well, you don't need a prescription for this, and that's one thing where I'm very like, I don't want to do the whole go to a doctor and get antidepressants or something, because that's the kind of shit that shit, man. I just feel like I feel like that's the stuff that can really fuck you up, and I don't feel that suicidal or something enough where I feel like I need it, where maybe for some people it does help. But yeah, this is one of those things where I feel like you constantly hear about like horror stories. Just like a lot of people I know, like, yeah, I knew this person that took them, and like, yeah, it made them fucking worse. Or somebody else I knew that was antidepressants and had like a moment of like, oh, I feel like it's really helping, and just like crashing down, whatever. So something like this, I mean, I don't know, I'm sure you guys know about this more than I do. I guess your body naturally produces it, but who knows, maybe a portion of, if a portion of what afflicts me, if realistically, part of it is my fault, I mean, obviously, but, if there's a portion of it that's, because you got a fucked up head, right? And if I guess this can sort of help or something, then, yeah, this one's not too bad, though. This is like 31 or something bucks for 30 tablets, and the directions say 1 tablet a day on an empty stomach, which is great, because you know me, I only eat once a day, so probably just take this morning or noon or something on an empty stomach. Yeah. Mood and brain function, liver detox, and joint strength. So how about that? How about that, folks? Maybe it'll help get my mind straight and help my joints too. So, yeah, somebody left a comment recently. Says, I guess after being asked about it enough, I just like, all right, fuck it, I'll go. Since I can just get this at the grocery store. Decided to find a GNC somewhere, which is like a pretty long drive, but like, all right, whatever. Got in before closing, at least at this store. Yeah, this person said get Sammy, which they said a lot of you vended, and said this amp test booster, which was quite expensive. So it's one of those where, like, well, ooh, it's kind of bugging me a little bit on whether to get it. You know, I have read that the test boosters tend to be mostly bogus, but, well, it doesn't hurt. Like I said, folks, these days, since I'm not spending my money on alcohol and video games and shit like that, you know, I've spent money on much worse things. Is it really gonna kill you to fucking try something rather than, oh, I read those don't work, it's bullshit, it won't do anything for me. The only thing, yeah, this was like $96 after taxes. Of course, everything is built around a servings per container 30. Coming back, so and this one has got 120 tablets, but it says 4 a day, twice a day, 2 tablets at a time, preferably with food. So I'm going to assume that it probably not going to go so well on an empty stomach. Although, if you're familiar with this brand, let me know if that works. Because, you know, I want to follow the directions, but at the same time, since I only eat once a day, like, man, there's kind of a reason for that. Because I feel better doing that. As crazy as it sounds. So maybe I'll try at least all half the dosage and just do 2 tablets once a day and see how it goes. After all, in theory, I'm on a diet of steak and eggs and shit like that. So in theory, that should be helping boost testosterone too. So I don't know. You let me know. Can I take this shit on an empty stomach and I'll be fine, even though this says preferably? But I said most of this is just said, if anything, it's the Sam E that I'm very curious about. But it's alright, well, heard about this crap so long, I guess we'll see what happens. So like I said, spent money on much worse shit, so I'm gonna try something out. So if it makes a difference, well, there you go. Maybe there's something to it. If it changes nothing and doesn't this and that, well, not like you're being forced to buy it all the time. So rather than just immediately going to the excuse, right? If it does work, I definitely will probably be buying this stuff online. Because, yeah, I went to the GNC and bought this and kind of looked at theirs for the Sammy. It was, like, pretty expensive and clearly, I don't know. Let me go try to find a grocery store in their thing. And this was, like, seemed like a good one and a little bit not so pricey, but mostly just the way they feel like they had it dosed. That feels like, oh, once a day on an empty stomach? Well, that's much better than what the other one fucking said, so so I'll give it a shot. Like I said, I'll start with at least 2 a day for that, see how it goes. Although, you know, I do want to follow instructions too, so very exciting stuff. Yeah, I know. I don't really have anything else to say, folks. making little by little progress, I guess, on the exercise, but I'm not, it'd be nice to have a six-pack, it'd be this and this. I just don't really care and don't really think about it. I go in and do what I need to do, try to have whatever enjoyment I can out of it, try not to, when's this or that gonna happen? And that's sort of it, right? I haven't approached any girls. I said I mostly don't really care right now. Maybe it'll have a moment where it all comes back and hits me all again at once. And then I'll be like, oh, I'm so lonely again. But like I said, I'm at least trying to enjoy this moment where... No, sorry. Just seeing if I brought my water bottle with me. Just mostly enjoying this moment where I don't care. I could almost see, folks, how, man, if I could take a pill that would just kill my desire to, I guess it would kill your sex drive, right? But without fucking you up other ways. Because usually if it does that, then it screws something else up, right? So, man, if I had a pill that did that you'd just take where it wouldn't screw me up other than just, you wouldn't care about sex, I have to say, there's something kind of freeing about it. I really do. But it is being whatever. I guess the only other thing is I sort of had this moment of, there's this one, I think I mentioned it in one of the early NOFAP videos, where I was talking to this girl at work, sort of, she's not new per se, but newer-ish, and you kind of get to know them and blah, 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 and you're like, you like the personality, and it seems like your conversations with them go well, and it's not one of those things where you like instantly feels like you run out of something to talk about. It's like, yep, that's it. So you're kind of chatting up with them, blah blah blah, joking around, and you can feel that there's just maybe a little bit something there. And didn't see a wedding ring, any of that, and no mention of a boyfriend, well, other than recently. So I was like, I wasn't engrossed and like heavily thinking about this person, but when you see them here and there, just like have conversations, and it goes pretty good, and you're just like, yeah, they seem pretty cool, right? And yeah, recently it was another pretty good day where I wasn't even actively trying to talk to her much. It's mostly she talking to me a lot, and we were joking and teasing each other back and forth, and then the inevitable something about, Thanksgiving, whatever. And she mentioned, I was like, what are you going to do Thanksgiving? I was like, she kind of like teases me a lot since, I'm like on this steak and eggs diet, whatever. But I was like, we're going to make steak for Thanksgiving. She's like, what? You're going to make steak? Whatever. And so like I asked her, and I was like, it was almost like one of those tactical questions where you're like, is she going to say it? And I couldn't tell if there was hesitation on her, not like a moment of hesitation to say the B word. Or maybe it's just in my head. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't care. I mean, for all I know, she doesn't give a shit about me that way at all. It could be just totally in my head, but yeah, it's like, oh, I'm gonna have Thanksgiving dinner with the boyfriend's family, blah blah blah. So I just had that, like, I wasn't devastated or hurt or any of that, because I wasn't like engrossed or something in this person. It was just like a slow burn where you kind of just find yourself liking someone. So it was mostly in the back of my head, like, oh, well, I guess I don't have to think about this one then. I guess you can sort of cross that name off the mental list, and like, whatever. It's there was something funny about it in a way, because like I said, it's one of those things where you have good interactions with somebody, and you kind of just enjoy actually talking to them and their personality and stuff, where it's not like, oh, she's got a fat ass, oh yeah, something like that. It's a little bit more than that. It's like, oh yeah, boyfriend, alright, well, whatever. So I guess that was about it. Well, folks, that's it. I can't think of anything else to talk about. Well, I go home, take a Sammy, wait a little bit, cook up dinner, and take some of this test booster. So, hope that you folks are doing well. Bye-bye.